In the previous episode, we explored the rise of Cyrus the Great and how he defeated the Medes. Unlike other conquerors, he built an empire not through cruelty, but through wisdom and strategy, marking the beginning of a new era. But that was just the beginning. After defeating the Medes, Cyrus faced even greater challenges. To the west, the wealthy and powerful kingdom of Lydia, ruled by King Croesus, stood as a formidable opponent. And to the south, Babylon, one of the greatest cities of the ancient world, was still under the rule of a tyrannical king. How did Cyrus overcome these obstacles? How did he capture Babylon without bloodshed while earning the loyalty of its people? And how did he manage to govern a vast empire stretching thousands of kilometers in just a few years? Hello and welcome. You are watching another episode of the Achaemenid Empire series. If you haven't watched the first episode yet, I highly recommend checking it out first so you can follow the full story. Before we begin, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you won't miss any episode of this documentary. If you enjoy this content, support us by liking and commenting. It really helps us bring more incredible stories to you. Let's step into the time tunnel and travel back 2,500 years. Join us on this historical journey. After defeating the Medes, Cyrus faced one of his greatest challenges yet. The kingdom of Lydia, ruled by Croesus, one of the wealthiest and most powerful kings of his era. He possessed not only legendary riches, but also a formidable army in the fortified city of Sardis. Yet what truly distinguished Croesus was his blind faith in his wealth and the prophecies of the Oracle of Delphi. Before waging war, Croesus sought the guidance of the Oracle of Delphi. The prophecy stated, if you go to war against Cyrus, a great empire will be destroyed. Upon hearing these words, Croesus smiled. He was certain that the empire destined for ruin was Cyrus's, not his own, but he was gravely mistaken. In 547 BCE, Croesus led his forces beyond Lydia's borders and met the Persian army on the plains of Cappadocia. Confident in the strength of his heavily armored cavalry, he prepared for a decisive victory. But Cyrus employed an unexpected strategy that turned the tide of battle. He ordered camels to be placed at the front lines. Horses, terrified by the scent of camels, panicked and lost control, throwing the Lydian cavalry into chaos. The once mighty Lydian forces collapsed, forcing Croesus into retreat. He withdrew to Sardis, planning to regroup over the winter and launch a counterattack in the spring. But Cyrus, defying expectations, did not wait. Instead, he launched a swift assault and besieged Sardis. While many expected the siege to last for months, something remarkable happened. Persian soldiers discovered a hidden path into the citadel, and Sardis fell. Captured and brought before Cyrus, Croesus was reportedly placed on a funeral pyre to be burned alive. However, at the last moment, Cyrus chose to spare him. Some believe that Croesus's reflections on fate and the fleeting nature of power deeply moved Cyrus. With the fall of Lydia, Croesus's legendary wealth and his vast western territories became part of the Achaemenid Empire. Yet Cyrus's campaign was far from over. To the south lay a city that would forever change history. Babylon. But how could such a great city be taken without war? Next in this video, we unravel the astonishing story of Babylon's conquest and the birth of the first Charter of Human Rights. After the victory in Lydia, Cyrus set his sights on the greatest and most magnificent city of his time, Babylon. With its towering walls, vast rivers, and an ancient civilization, the city seemed impenetrable. But could even this mighty fortress withstand the intelligence and strategy of Cyrus? At that time, Babylon was ruled by Nabonidus, a king who had angered the priests and religious leaders by closing temples and neglecting the people's traditions. This widespread discontent created the perfect opportunity for Cyrus. Rather than using force, he relied on diplomacy and strategy to enter this legendary city. In 539 BCE, the Persian army reached Babylon's gates. But unlike other great battles, no war took place. Cyrus devised a brilliant plan. He diverted the Euphrates River, allowing his troops to enter through the dried riverbed. The people of Babylon, exhausted by their own ruler's tyranny, did not resist. Instead, they welcomed Cyrus as a liberator. Thus, Babylon was conquered without bloodshed, and Cyrus entered the city not as a conqueror, but as a savior. But what truly made him legendary was his actions after the victory. Shortly after taking control of Babylon, Cyrus issued the Cyrus Cylinder, a clay tablet now considered the world's first declaration of human rights. In it, he proclaimed freedom of religion, self-determination, and the abolition of forced labor. He freed captives, restored temples, and famously allowed the Jewish people, who had been exiled in Babylon for decades, to return to their homeland. These policies earned Cyrus a reputation not just as a powerful ruler, but as a just and benevolent leader. His approach to governance set a precedent that would influence civilizations for centuries to come. With the conquest of Babylon, the Achaemenid Empire became the largest the world had ever seen. But how did Cyrus manage to govern such a vast empire? Up next in this video, we explore his administrative system and policies that ensured the stability of his vast kingdom. Cyrus was not just a conqueror, he was a brilliant strategist and administrator who managed to govern a vast empire of diverse nations and cultures. One of the defining aspects of his rule was his respect for religious and cultural freedom. Unlike many rulers who imposed their own customs on conquered lands, Cyrus did the opposite. He believed that a successful empire must be built on coexistence. That's why he allowed his subjects to retain their languages, religions, and traditions. Cyrus also boosted trade and economic growth by developing safe and efficient trade routes that connected major cities across his empire. These routes not only strengthened commerce, but also helped spread knowledge and culture. Another key aspect of his governance was the creation of a well-organized and professional army. Unlike other rulers who relied solely on local militias, Cyrus formed a unified army consisting of skilled warriors from different regions, each specializing in unique combat techniques. His empire became a model of stability, not just through military power, but through intelligence, tolerance, and strategic governance. But how did the Achaemenid Empire sustain and expand this remarkable structure? Up next in this video, we'll wrap up this historical journey and take a look at the empire's future. Cyrus the Great was not just an unmatched conqueror, he was a visionary leader and a master strategist. Through a combination of military prowess, fair policies, and intelligent governance, he established an empire that was not only unparalleled in his time, but also served as a model for future civilizations. In this video, we explored his decisive battles in Lydia and Babylon, as well as his innovative policies that allowed him to govern a vast and diverse empire. But this was only part of his story. In the next episode, we will delve into the final years of Cyrus's life. How did his journey come to an end? What challenges did he face in his last battles? And what fate awaited the Achaemenid Empire after him? If you enjoyed this video, Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episode. What do you think about Cyrus's leadership? Was he the most successful ruler of the ancient world? Share your thoughts in the comments. Stay tuned for the next episode. Until then, farewell.